Good morning. It is Monday morning, day 116. Up bright and early, 6 o'clock this morning, based on a signal that showed up at the weekend, SIG1 signal. Closed basically above the weekly 200 simple moving average. I added to my cable long, so now I have 2 positions on in this pair. So far the market is showing me that decision to add was the correct one as price has moved up, but only time will tell. Going to be an interesting week. We have a general election on Thursday here in the UK. I think results are due out on Friday. So I think the market is positioning itself for a Conservative victory. I think that's interpreted as good for cable, for the pound. But, you know, only time will tell. I think there's been quite a big move up, sort of 1,000 pips. In the past 4 or 5 weeks, maybe slightly longer, in cable, and I can't believe that's all the retail crowd. I think that is the big players showing their hand, and what happens? The big players, once they start to bid on a particular pair, it's only a matter of time before they do show their hand. They can't keep it hidden. Price is going to rise as a result, and I think that's what we've seen. And if we continue to trip above the moving averages, I think there's a really good chance we could get up to the next SIG1 level, I think it's the 3-year high, and that could be a very, very big move for the position that I'm currently in. But that's all academic, it's all theory. What happens in practice is the most important thing. Literally, that's pretty much all I probably need to do today. A couple of things I'm watching, potentially Golden Gate on Australian dollar, Swiss franc. That will be a long position, as signaled by my MAG7 indicator. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll check. In fact, I'm out this morning. We're meeting the builder to talk about the house construction. So I'm going to miss the 10 a.m, but I'll catch the 2 p.m. and see where we are. So this afternoon in Leicester, taking my wife's Mac back to the Mac shop, Apple shop. Got Genius appointment at 3:05, but in the meantime, quick chance to have a look around High Cross and see what it has to offer. Well, good morning. It is what day are we on? Tuesday morning, and yet another trip to London today, 3rd in a week. This time for ICAW dinner and council meeting tomorrow. Checked the charts this morning, and I need to shave actually. Checked the charts this morning, and not a lot happening overnight. New Zealand dollar was under some pressure yesterday, which impacted my New Zealand dollar CAD trade slightly. Seems to be back in play this morning to the bids. So yeah, just going to there we go, no idea on your videoing. Just going to see what happens today, check in when I can, but it's going to be a pretty busy day in London. Got quite a few errands to run before a dinner tonight near Tower Hill, so yeah, going to be busy. So luggage dropped to the hotel, and now time to run a few errands around the city. 10 o'clock close just happened, not just about to happen. Not able to check the charts, but that's okay. So yeah, just going to enjoy the morning. So far it hasn't rained, but I've got the umbrella just in case. So a quick dip back into the Savoy. Unfortunately not staying there this time. Left some jewellery at the hotel when I stayed with the family at the weekend, and thankfully they found it. Only realised in the middle of the, or just before the Ruiz Joshua fight on Saturday night. Phoned up, they got it. That is a 5-star hotel right there. been reported this year that the Christmas tree in Trafalgar Square is slightly sad and slightly lacking in stature, and I have to say, I tend to agree. So it's 3 in the afternoon, and I've had a little trip to Farringdon Station and walking to the Charles Dickens Museum. It's my annual pilgrimage here. I absolutely love the stories, particularly A Christmas Carol, and came this time last year with my dad. So I'm just retracing my footsteps, and apparently they have the first ever Christmas card to view on show. So we're going to have a look at that, and yeah, been here quite a few times. So it won't be a long trip, but have a look and see what's what. Walking through London, just nearly got mobbed by a bunch of Chelsea, I think it was Chelsea football fans, all drinking, shouting, screaming in Leicester Square. So cut the corner out, walking through Covent Garden, gradually wending my way back to the hotel. Well, that's one thing to tick off the bucket list. Just had a pint at the oldie Cheshire Cheese, which was rebuilt in 1667. Absolutely rammed inside. Some of it was closed off, but really old pub, old fire. Apparently where Charles Dickens visited on a regular, as a regular occurrence. Really atmospheric, but a bit too busy. But glad I've been. Probably best to come in the day than at night. I think now 5 o'clock, drinking hour is on us, and it was pretty chaotic. Lots of little rooms, little alcoves, all oak panelling. Would love to have a proper look round in there when it's a bit quieter. I forgot to say, it is a digital detox pub, which means, well, you know what it means. I was going to do some filming in there, but you got some looks if you got your phone out. So yeah, that's quite nice. No phones, encourage drinking and conversation, but no digital devices at all. So I respected the custom of the premises. Well, not much has start that again. Well, not much has happened in the market today. Pretty quiet. Some pressure on the Australian dollar. Pound still seems to be on the way up. So really not a lot to do. My Euro Swiss franc short seems to be on the way down to its target, but is not quite there yet. So yeah, I'm off out to dinner tonight to a restaurant near Tower Hill for ICAW Council. So I'm gonna have a walk. Don't think it's raining. Gonna have a walk and go and have some nice food and some nice company. Well, good morning. It is Wednesday morning, and not a huge amount of sleep. Never sleep well when I stay in a hotel, but hey, nice hotel, pretty comfortable, can't complain. Got up this morning just before 6, done the market analysis, just completed it. Basically the news is that not a lot is happening. Some of my long positions under a little bit of pressure, but I think this is just the ebb and flow of the market. So there's nothing to do. My SIG1 trades are traded on the weekly chart. So I don't really, well, I can't do anything with them, make any adjustments until the weekend. New Zealand dollar seems to be under a little bit of pressure, and there seems to be some gaps on cable pair, well, not cable pairs, pound, GBP pairs overnight. So yeah, not a lot happening. I've got a meeting this morning, which I need to get ready for in a minute. And then I'll be traveling back home, so won't get a chance to really look at the charts until later on this evening. Could possibly be a good thing. Just let the market do what it's going to do. Let my positions play out, or not, as the case may be. And if that's the case, then of course I have my stop losses in place.
Very sorry that the friends were dead, but then they heard a noise. I'm very happy now that the friends could share their good news. This was the longest they've ever stayed. Wake up, come and see the king. Wake up, come and see the tidings we bring to you and your king.
What we got, boys?
Don't know, but I know it's from Santa.
A letter from Santa?
Yeah, because the Santa one was very left in the plane. Wait, what is that? What?
Wow. Let's have a look. Open it up, Charles. Wow. Well done, boys. So it is, what day is it? That's a good question. It's Wednesday night around about 10 to 9. Back from London, came back from London, got in the car, picked the kids up, took them to the school nativity, which was really great. Only so many years that they do the nativity already. My eldest just is in the choir. There's no nativity for him. So probably my youngest is the youngest last one, but who knows. Came back and checked the charts, and basically the US dollar appears to have weakened across the board. Now, I was quite curious as to why this was, and then I looked into the news calendar. I'd missed this with my time in London, and FOMC, basically interpretation of what FOMC has said is that people are more bearish on the dollar. So that's helped my Australian dollar, US dollar long, which I just showed on screen. My pound long has been helped by that. And tomorrow, of course, in the UK, we have a general election. I think, I don't know, and I'm not gambling on this, but because I have a position on already, I'm going to protect myself. But I have a feeling that the Conservatives will get in. I think that will be bullish for the pound, particularly if we get a Brexit deal. Yeah, I'm just holding my position. I've got 2 positions on, and we'll see where that ends up. If a Labour wing comes in, I can see sterling dropping considerably, but I don't think that's very likely at all. So I'll be voting at some point tomorrow. So quite an interesting time, FOMC today. Note to myself, missed that report coming out. So need to watch the news more closely. I don't trade the news, but I need to protect myself from it. And then tomorrow, general election, we'll get the results overnight on Friday. The screens have just gone off, which is why the lights gone funny. We'll get the results probably early Friday morning, I suspect. And I think we'll see some volatility in all pound pairs, in particular pound US dollar cable. So that's it for today. I'm going to sign off now, go and watch some TV. The Apprentice is on, so I'm going to watch that. and then I am tired. Late night last night and early start this morning. Long meeting this morning, so I need to get some rest because I need to be up early again tomorrow to do the morning market analysis. It's 8:30. I'm still not dressed. I need to get dressed in a minute. I've got to go out for a meeting. It is election day here in the UK, so I need to find time to vote at some point today. Be very interesting to watch the news later and see what impact that has on cable, pound, US dollar. My euro US dollar short was stopped out last night, just showing that up on the screen. That was the final third of the position. Looking at that trade and analysing that trade, I shouldn't have left that third on. I should have got out much, much earlier. But for some reason, I decided to leave that on and think that I know better than the market, which was a big mistake. Luckily, it was only a third of the original position, so it didn't cost me too much. But an important lesson there to follow the rules and to get out of the trade, which, yeah, I think I stayed in that trade a little bit too long. But anyway, you live and learn. Or you lose and learn, which is fine. Yeah, entered a short position on US dollar Japanese yen this morning. The yen closed below the 50 simple moving average on the daily chart yesterday, and it's below most of the simple moving averages, going against the trend that has prevailed for a little while now. So yeah, entered a short there. It may or may not work out, but I've entered that short, and we'll see how that progresses. And here is that short position entered on basically the close below the simple moving averages. You'll see the 50 crossing below the 200 on the 240 chart. And then if I dip into the, if I can find the mouse, if I can dip into the daily, you'll see that close on an X candle below the 50. We've got the 200 coming down. So although there's some bids this morning, I think the pressure is down in the market, and you see I've got the target there at a more than 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio based on the structure to the left and where bids are likely to come in. But time will tell. We'll see how this trade transpires. If we close above the 50 simple moving average on today, that's probably a good clue that I'm in the wrong direction on this trade. Probably time to get out.
It's lunchtime on Thursday. It is wet, it is cold, but it is time to go and vote. I have made up my mind who I'm going to vote for, although I have to say, given the state of current politics, I don't think any of them are worth voting for, but you have to exercise your vote, and that's what I'm about to go and do.
Well, my friends, that is what surprise news looks like. Not scheduled news, but more news about a trade deal between the US and China. The market's reacted. The risk currencies of Swiss franc and Japanese yen have gone to offer, and I've been stopped out of my US dollar Japanese yen short, which looked to be a hot prospect for me this morning. It just shows you never know. So stopped out of that trade. On the flip side, my SIG1 trades that I trade on the weekly chart, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar. So I'm long Australian dollar, US dollar, Australian dollar CAD, and New Zealand dollar CAD. Goodness me, it's hard to say that all in a row. I'm long all of those, and all of those have benefited from this news. So what I've lost on the roundabouts, I've gained on the swings, or what I've lost on the swings, I've gained on the roundabout, whatever it is. And that's the way it goes. So minimizing the loss, but capitalizing and holding the trades that I'm in. So yeah, went to vote, and not much news about the potential result at the moment. I think the odds have shortened on a Conservative victory, which I think will help the pound unless it's priced in. But who knows? Going to watch and see what happens to that overnight. Bit disappointed about the US dollar Japanese yen short, but it just shows you can never go all in on one trade thinking that that is the trade, because you just never know. And surprise news will always surprise you. The clue's in the title, and that's exactly what happened today. Yeah, never mind. Learn from it, move on, and yeah, not a lot I could have done. So it's 5 to 8, and there are 2 hours left of voting in the UK general election. I voted earlier, and just been watching the cable pound US dollar over the past couple of hours or so. Seen some pressure to the offers side. That seems to have stalled now. The bids seem to be coming back in, and really it's anyone's game. I'll record this now and make a prediction. I think the Conservatives will get in. I think the pound will rally. And hopefully tomorrow morning I'll wake up to increased profit in my already profitable long cable trade. But you know, anybody's guess. Who knows? I remember back to the Brexit referendum. At one point during the night, a cable spiked, and then when the Brexit news came through, it crashed. So quite often, I think in big decision type markets, price can go one way, then can go the other way. People are getting positioned. Nobody really knows what's going on. There's panic buying or selling. The best thing to do is not to trade that market. And if I wasn't already in a profitable trade that is protected, I would not be trading this pair at the moment. I would not be trading cable. Any pound pairs at the moment. There's a screensaver, come on, which is why it's gone dark in here. Would not be trading any pound pairs, because it's too volatile, it's too risky. And where your stops are, even if you're right ultimately, the probability of your stop being hit is pretty high. So, you know, I'm trading SIG1 strategy on a weekly chart. I entered this position a while ago. I added a secondary position at the weekend. But, you know, my stops are well away. I think when I added my position at the weekend, added to my position at the weekend, my stop was 457 pips away from entry, which sounds like a lot, but on the weekly chart, it's not that much at all. Yeah, going to see what happens overnight. I'm going to have an early night. I'm going to be up early to see the election news roll in. So I'm not long awake tonight. I'm going to get my head down and have a good rest and make sure I'm up early and ready for the markets tomorrow. Well, good morning. It is Friday morning, and what a 24 hours that has been. Just had the news, or just woken up to the news that the Conservatives have won the UK general election. Boris Johnson has been confirmed as Prime Minister, and the pound has rocketed off the back of that. I think clarity surrounding the Brexit fog, that Brexit will get done next year. Donald Trump, President of the USA, of course, has tweeted that the UK can now expect a fantastic trade deal with America that will rival any trade deal with the EU. So really positive, I guess, positive news that has been, well, interpreted as positive news by the markets. On my other pairs, just glancing quickly, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar longs are all doing well off the back of an announcement yesterday that a trade deal with China is probably going to come off. So, yeah, pretty pleased. And this is what I've been talking about for some time. You know, it's been up and down, up and down, up and down on many of my intraday trades over the last 6 months, 5.5 months. And what I've always been looking for is that 1, 2 or 3 big trades that I can hold, that I can add to, that will pay handsomely. And it looks like my SIG1 strategy of buying off the 10, 5 or 3-year low can do the reverse, but it just happens to be that they've been bids. It looks like they're really starting to pay off, and I'll review that at the weekend. I only look at those at the end of the week. They're a weekly trading strategy, but it looks like they've started to pay off. So pretty interesting times, let's just say. Pretty interesting times. So I'm going to do the morning market analysis. I'm slightly late doing that this morning. Been watching the news, and then I'm off to a business networking lunch, Christmas dinner. to see Eddie the Eagle Edwards, and we'll probably meet Eddie the Eagle Edwards, the famous ski long jumper, whatever you call it, where he jumps off those big jumps and lands and does that scary stuff. But anyway, ski jumper, that's what I'm looking for. It is early, and I've been awake on and off throughout the night, looking up and thinking about what's going on. But anyway, so off to do that today. But let's dive into the charts and let's do the morning market analysis.
So we're in the city today, all dressed up with somewhere to go. It is a business networking group I belong to, Christmas party. So we've got Eddie the Eagle Edwards speaking, the ski jumper. So looking forward to that.
Hi everybody. First of all, thank you for inviting me the second time, and most of all, I really appreciate the fact that you've supported this charity, a charity that's really making a really huge difference in a lot of people's lives, and I'll tell you a little bit about what we actually do. But firstly, I would just like to thank everybody at Nottingham City Business Club for what we've done.
As Britain's first and last Olympic ski jumper.
Thunder Bay, Ontario, and we begin now with a brief lesson in history. In the next 3 sensations we've imported from Great Britain. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. I got that big swing. Jesus. There was Twiggy, who threw the pin was in, and Chuck and Mine, where would people magazine be without seconds? You even have one more on your list. He's Eddie the Eagle Edwards. The first thing you have to understand about ski jumping is that most normal people don't do it.
Where are we today, Maxie?
Africa.
No, we're in Leicester. Taking Mummy's... Yes, we are. Taking Mummy's computer back.
No.
We're not taking it.
I'm getting
back.
it.
We're picking it up, actually.
I'm
Come on.
getting it.
Come on.
Well, good morning. It is Sunday morning, around about 11:45. For the last hour or so, been doing the weekly market analysis. What a week last week was. The election in the UK, general election, happened. Lots going on. Had the US-China trade deal, seems to be back on. So lots of movement in the market. And for the most part, that has been pretty good news for my SIG1 trades. Just looking at that just now, those 4 trades are all in profits. I'm looking to add to my pound trade, my cable long. That'll be done probably tomorrow morning about 6 a.m. I tend not to do it on the 10 p.m. close, 10 p.m. open, I should say, on a Sunday evening because the spreads are too wide. So I tend to do it when I wake up on a Monday morning. But anyway, been an interesting week. This is must be the last full trading week, I think, before Christmas. So the difficulty for me now, I have trades in open profit. It's holding those trades and leveraging them to the max, and not getting scared out of them and taking profits too early. It's about trailing the stock properly, which I intend to do. The intraday trades been a bit more frustrating. They tend to be back and forth. You win one, you lose one, you win one, you lose one. But the SIG1 trades, which I trade off the weekly chart, seem to be performing much better. So there's probably a lesson in there somewhere that the higher time frames require more patience, of course, but can potentially deliver better results. So with all that said, let's jump into the charts, and I'll do a quick summary of the trades that I'm currently in. So first up, my cable long, entered the position here. We then got above the 50 simple moving average, and then closed above the 200 on the close of last week, where I added, and now looking to add a third position here as we are trading above this level, looking to roll the stop to this level below my second entry. This is 50 points below the 1.3000 handle. Got the support of the 200 now. If we close and trade below the 200 again, that's not a great sign. So I would expect, if there is upside momentum, that price holds above the 200, which means I can roll my stop in reasonably aggressively, which I'll do probably on the 6 a.m. candle close tomorrow morning. Other trades I have on, SIG1 trades. Got no intraday trades on at the moment, actually. SIG1 trades, Australian dollar. We are in profit here, entered here, so this trade is in profit, looking for a close above this level to potentially add to this trade. So nothing to do at the moment. And then I have Australian dollar CAD. Yeah, this was kind of neutralized in the week. We seem to be in a sideways range, although the trade is in profit. It's holding above the 0.9000 even handle, and it's a similar story to the Aussie dollar long. And then finally New Zealand dollar CAD, somewhere over here. This trade I've added to second position, first position here, second position here. Not going to look to add to this position until we get a close above the 50 simple moving average on the weekly. If we get a close above there, I'll add a third position, but for the moment there's nothing more to do on this particular trade. So this could be very profitable. Got a reasonable size of pound per point or pound per pip, and if we do get up to these higher levels up here, that could be a very, very profitable trade indeed. As always, I never know. Stop losses are in place, and wait and see how next week, the full trading week before Christmas, or the final full trading week before Christmas, pans out.